Stay Ukrainian, my friends. Stay
Sponsored by Ukrainian Credit Union. Believe it or not, it's me, Ron Cahoot, with
Stay Ukrainian, my friends.
Stay Ukrainian, my friends.
The name of the movie is Vika. And that's Vika. She's a movie star now. I am with Vika, and I am with Marta and Christian, who also happens to be my wife's nephew. Yeah. But she's still paid to get in to see your film, okay? Just so you knew that. Yeah. Will we consider it to be a CBC film?
Yeah, it's a CBC film.
Yeah, as I was saying, that's quite the coup for you. So, and it's just them that asks gets, you just ask them and they...
Yeah, so we took it to CBC in January. We shopped it around to other places before that. We wanted a broadcaster to fund the whole thing. And originally it looked like it could go to Al Jazeera. And then in January, CBC took a look at the trailer. They took a look at the pitch. Arina was involved, who is the little sister who actually lives in Toronto, and they just loved it, and they commissioned it right away.
Vika, як вам подобається тут в Канаді?
Мені дуже подобається в Канаді, то я думаю, що далі в майбутньому я перейду сюди жити.
Так?
Так.
Перед... Ви в коледжі тепер, так?
Так, в коледжі, як закінчу навчання, то далі там
Мейкап і...
зачіска, так.
How long was it that you hadn't seen her sister?
Не бачила я її 4 роки, але разом ми не жили, вже, напевно, років 8 ми разом не жили. А як вона за той час, поки вона була в Торонто, то було 4 роки, я її не бачила взагалі.
Ви говорили FaceTime і...
Так, ми говорили в скайпі.
У Skype?
Так, меседжер. Так ми спілкувалися. Так.
Yeah. What's up for the movie after now you've screened it? Now it's streaming.
Now it's on CBC, short docs. You can view it online now.
Do you still get paid when it's streamed? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Isn't that something?
I honestly have no idea how that works going forward. Like, what we're actually going to be doing is submitting it to different festivals, because there was a film that was made by the CBC 2 years ago that went on a run of the festival circuit in the US, which ended up allowing them to be shortlisted for an Oscar. So that's potentially the plan that we're going down as well. It's just very expensive to do it. You have to apply the film to all these different festivals in the States, like Sundance, I think, like Boston, Austin, festivals like in LA, New York.
TIFF? What about TIFF?
TIFF doesn't really go for this style of film. They go for fiction films, and then if it is a documentary, it's like a celebrity documentary. Like
there are some people in some countries that would consider this to be a fictional film. Give me a quick synopsis of what the film is about.
The film's about 2 sisters. One lives in Ukraine, one lives in Canada. The younger one was adopted and moved to Canada with her family. And Vika is in Ukraine and embarking on life on her own. We follow Vika in her last year of school, and it's a very tough period for orphans in Ukraine, like leaving the internat.
It's a strange system, huh? 18 years old. Get out. And then you're on your own.
Yeah.
So all kinds of problems could develop, couldn't they?
Yeah, that was the original idea. It was looking at, like, Ruslana, who runs Help Us Help the Children, at camp. She said that a lot of those kids that you see at camp, even though they're even some of the scholarship students, they just face these hurdles as they leave the orphanage, and a lot of them will wind up in jail or in sex work or as alcoholics or drug addicts. Not all of them, but a large portion of them, because they don't have that foundation of how to live alone, of how to be adults. So that was like the original sort of thesis of what this was going to be, and then it changed after meeting Vika and Arina because of this relationship that they had.
How did you find out about them? Like, how did you...
Met them so I met Vika at camp in 2016. Marta had worked with her previously, so you can...
Yeah, I've known Vika for Yes, a few years through Help Us. I've been a volunteer since I was 18 at that camp.
So you've been a volunteer for 2 years.
Since I was.
Just kidding. Yeah, there you go. That's.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I like it. Never mind.
So I'd known Vika since 2013, 14, and was working on a Help Us film about another orphan that had gone through the organization, Serhi, and we were at the internat that Vika was at. We met Vika there, and that was with filmmaker Lana Slezik, and then I've just stayed in touch with Vika throughout the years that I went back to camp, and then in 2016 I was also there, and I knew it would be Vika's last year in school, and so it was just it felt like a really important time to make the film, so we approached Vika and asked her if we could.
When we were going into this, I thought that every orphanage was just a disaster. But if you actually go to Vika's orphanage, it really was a place where the director cared about the students. The students had good relationships with each other. Vika, I mean, it's not an idyllic way to grow up, but it wasn't the worst. It wasn't a nightmare by any stretch of the imagination. But there are orphanages that are nightmares. So it's not like every single place is terrible. There are some good ones as well. So I guess in that way, it's sort of different than what your perception of all of them might be. And the reality was, I mean, she actually went to a pretty good school. She's a bright kid. She wasn't falling off the rails by any stretch of the imagination. It's just what happens after that is the problem.
Ну, то перший час, як я тільки закінчила школу, я була в гуртожитку, але там, то файний гуртожиток, то зараз я вирішила з'їхати на квартиру, жити там з дівчатами, одногрупницями, тому що в гуртожитку, тут дуже багато дівчат, і така атмосфера мені, не дуже подобається.
Так. І ви хочете тут приїхати, так? Жити? Ви казали, що вам подобається дуже в Канаді, але в Торонті, чи де ви були?
В Торонто. По всьому Торонто, я думаю, ми є.
CN Tower?
Так, Ніагара, акваріум.
Ніагара, треба там ще. І CN Tower, так?
Так.
І акваріум?
Так.
То все. Я не думаю, що так багато тут в Торонті. І багато українців, так.
Так, і всі майже свої.
Well, that's for sure. Tends to be the most active Ukrainian population anywhere, especially in Canada, but just about anywhere outside of Ukraine. So what's involved now? Що треба зробити? Жити тут тепер.
What she needs to do is we need to get her an immigration lawyer. She needs to go through intensive English classes back home, probably for the next 2 years, so that she can write exams to be able to get into school here. And then she would have to get a student visa, which would allow her to study here for 2 years. And if she gets that, then she could get a work visa, which would allow her to work here for 3 years. And then ideally, I guess if you've spent that much time here without any sort of problem, hopefully you get to continue living in Canada. But that's the ideal trajectory. It's just a matter of time and money, basically.
Where does it? So is it going to be shown anymore in theaters or anything?
We're hoping to submit it to other film festivals.
Yes, you were saying not necessarily Ukrainian festivals, or are you looking at Ukrainian festivals as well? Don't look for any money from them.
We'd love to show it where there's a big Ukrainian community. So looking into like Chicago or
Might be worth
New York, yeah.
at the Bloor Festival, because they have a they have a huge film festival during the Bloor weekend.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and they show many films like that, and certainly they'd show this. There's no question.
Yeah, for sure. We would be happy. I mean, we wanted to show it in Ukraine. We want to show it wherever we can, basically.
Well, it was great. Щиро дякую. Wishing you guys all the best, and go get him with this film, because it's a really good film. It really is. It's a heartwarming film, and it's really not a political film at all. It's a film about her and her sister. Бажаю вам всього найкращого. And best of luck навчитися по англійській мові. З англійської, ну, то й тяжке, але that's okay. Ви дуже мудрі, так? Так, that a girl. Thanks, guys. Stay Ukrainian, my friends, is the name of the program, of the segment. You don't get better than this.
Тяжко відчувати, коли ти чуєш, що в тебе там, десь за океаном, за тисячами кілометрів є рідна, близька тобі людина. Ти її не можеш побачити, коли ти захочеш сьогодні або завтра. Ти взагалі її не можеш бачити. Найбільше почуття, то зараз, знаєш, почуття страху. Що ти вийдеш зі школи, ти будеш нікому не потрібна, ніхто про тебе не буде піклуватися. Ти сама. Тебе виставлять за двері і скажуть, іди в доросле життя.
Stay Ukrainian, my friends. Stay
Sponsored by Ukrainian Credit Union. Believe it or not, it's me, Ron Cahoot, with
Ukrainian, my friends.
Stay Ukrainian, my friends. Still needs an accordion.